Some feelings never go away, even when years pass by. This is the story of Mia and Ethan. They were just children when they met, but something deep inside them already knew this was not just any friendship. In a peaceful little town full of green trees, sunshine, and quiet streets lived a girl named Mia. She was only 9 years old, with curly brown hair, sparkling eyes, and a laugh that could light up any room. She loved butterflies, picture books, and the smell of rain. A few houses away lived Ethan. He was 10, full of energy, with messy hair and a heart full of kindness. He was the kind of boy who gave names to ants, made paper planes, and believed every tree was meant for climbing. They had never spoken before, until one summer afternoon changed everything. The sun was hot. The park was quiet. Birds chirped in the distance. Mia, holding her favorite vanilla ice cream, walked beside her mother. But then it happened. A loud bark. A small dog ran by, barking wildly. Mia got scared. Her hand shook. The ice cream slipped and fell to the ground. She stared at it, her eyes wide. Then came the tears. Just a few steps away, Ethan sat on a swing. He had seen it all. Without a second thought, he stood up and walked over to her. He gently held out his own half-melted cone. "Do not cry. Here, take mine," he said softly. Mia looked at him. She blinked. "Really? You are giving it to me?" "Yes," Ethan said with a smile. "You look sad. I can get another one." That smile, that one small act, was the beginning of something they would both remember forever. From that day on, Mia and Ethan became best friends. They met at the park every evening. They played hide and seek. They built little castles in the sand. They shared stories, secrets, and giggles. One evening, as they sat under the big oak tree, Ethan whispered, "I am afraid of the dark." Mia leaned closer and said, "Me too. I hide under the blanket during thunderstorms." They made a promise that day, a small pinky promise. "We will stay friends. Always. Always and forever," Ethan repeated. And just like that, two hearts grew closer. They did not know the word for what they were feeling. But when Ethan made her laugh, Mia felt butterflies in her chest. When Mia smiled at him, Ethan felt warm, even on the coldest day. One quiet evening, with the sky turning golden, they sat on the swings again. The wind whispered through the trees. The park was almost empty. Mia turned to Ethan and asked, "Do you think we will still be friends when we grow up?" Ethan looked straight ahead and said, "Yes, even if we live far away, even if we change, I will never forget you." Mia smiled, but deep inside, something began to worry her. Because sometimes life does not follow promises. Sometimes goodbyes come quietly without warning. And sometimes even the strongest memories begin to fade. But one thing was certain. This was only the beginning. The story of Mia and Ethan was just getting started. And something was waiting for them. Something they could not see coming. A twist that would test everything. But what was it? And would their childhood bond survive? Stay with us to find out. Years passed. Leaves changed colors. Winters came and went. And Mia and Ethan, they kept growing. They were not just kids anymore. They were teenagers now. Still close, still laughing, but something in the air had changed. It was the year they both turned 15. And for the first time, Mia noticed the world in a new way. Ethan's smile felt warmer. His words felt softer. And her heart, oh, her heart, it began to skip every time he walked into the room. But she never told him. Because how do you tell your best friend that your heart beats differently now? It was a rainy Thursday when the news came. Mia sat at the kitchen table, tracing circles on her notebook. Her mother walked in slowly and said, "Mia, we need to talk." She sat down and gently held her daughter's hand. "Your father got a new job in another city. We will be moving next month." Mia froze. Her spoon fell. Her heart dropped. What? Moving? But what about school? What about Ethan? Her mother's eyes filled with sadness. "I know this is hard, but sometimes life moves us, even when we are not ready." That night, Mia did not sleep. She lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, tears running down her cheeks. "I promised him," she whispered, "always and forever. How can I break that?" The next day, she met Ethan at the park, the same park where everything had started. She told him the news, slowly, as if each word hurt more than the last. Ethan's eyes widened. He went silent. For a moment, he just stood there, staring at the ground. Then, finally, he looked up and said, "So this is goodbye?" Mia shook her head quickly. "No, it is not goodbye. It is just a long pause. We will stay in touch. Letters, emails, calls, right?" Ethan smiled, but this time the smile was not the same. It was smaller, sadder, and a little bit broken. "Yes, of course. Always and forever. Remember?" On her last day in town, Mia left something in the oak tree where they used to sit. A tiny note, folded carefully, hidden behind a rock near the roots. It said, "If you ever miss me, come here. I will be waiting in the memories." And then, just like that, Mia was gone. New city, new home, new school. She smiled in front of others, but inside she missed him every single day. Ethan wrote to her at first, short messages, funny memories, even a drawing once. But then the letters stopped. 1 month, 2 months, and then silence. No goodbye, no reason, no answer. Why? Did he forget her? Was it too hard for him? Did something happen? Mia waited, hoped, prayed, but there was no reply. And slowly, with a heavy heart, she folded that chapter of her life. Years passed again, but the feeling never left. Not really, because some feelings never go away, even when letters stop coming, even when people disappear, even when time tries to erase them. They stay, somewhere deep, like a whisper in the wind. But what Mia did not know was that Ethan had a reason for his silence, a reason he could not share. And one day she would discover the truth. But would it be too late? Would she still recognize the boy behind the letters? And would he still remember her? Time moved on. Mia was now 22 years old. She had just finished college and was starting her first job in a nearby town. Life looked different now. New faces, new streets, new dreams. But sometimes late at night, when everything became quiet, Ethan's name still lived in her mind. She had not seen him for years. She did not know where he was. He had stopped writing when they were just 15. There were no texts, no emails, no answers. But she never forgot him. One Saturday morning, Mia decided to visit her childhood town again. It had been almost 7 years. The trees were taller. The houses looked smaller. The park still had the same wooden bench near the oak tree. She walked toward it slowly, step by step. Every leaf on the ground reminded her of old memories. She sat down at their favorite spot, and then she noticed something. Behind the rock, under the oak tree, something was hidden. She reached out and pulled it out. It was a small tin box, old, dusty, covered in leaves. She opened it, and inside, her hands began to shake. There were letters, lots of them, dozens of letters, all addressed to her, written by Ethan. Each envelope had her name, carefully written in blue ink. Each one had a date, from 7 years ago until just last year. Mia could not believe her eyes. Her heart was pounding. She took out the first letter. Dear Mia, I miss you every day. School is boring without you. I drew a new comic. I wish I could show it to you. She opened the second. Dear Mia, I hope your new school is nice. I saw a girl today who looked like you. It made me smile, then it made me sad. Tears filled her eyes. Why did she never receive these? Why did he stop writing? But he had not stopped. He had kept writing for years, and he had placed all of them here, in this very spot. Was he hoping she would find them? Was this his way of speaking to her, when he had no other way? Suddenly, she remembered something. Her parents had never allowed her to return after they moved. She remembered asking them many times. Each time, they said no. Why? She whispered. Why would they hide this from me? She sat on the bench for hours, reading each letter slowly. Every word felt like a piece of her past returning. He had never forgotten her. He had never stopped caring. Then she saw the last letter. It was dated just 1 year ago. It said, Mia, this will be my last letter. I do not know if you ever read the others. Maybe you forgot me. Maybe you moved on. But I will always be here in this town at this tree. If one day you come back and find this, I will be waiting. Her heart stopped for a second. Was he still here? Did he really wait? Mia stood up, her hands shaking. She looked around the park. It was quiet, but something inside her told her to search, to look for him, because now everything had changed, and the past was not just a memory anymore. It was real, and it was calling her back. Mia's legs were moving fast. She was not thinking anymore. She was just walking, almost running. Her heart was full of questions. Was Ethan still here? Why did he not send these letters to my house? Did my parents stop them from reaching me? Everything felt like a puzzle, and she wanted answers. The first place she went was the local library. That was Ethan's favorite place when they were children. He used to spend hours there, drawing, reading, dreaming. The wooden door still made the same soft creaking sound when it opened. Mia stepped inside. The smell of old books was still the same. She walked to the back table, the one near the window, empty, but there was something on the table. A sketchbook. She slowly opened it. The first page had a drawing. It was her face. Older, but still her. He had drawn her. There was a note under it. Some faces live forever in memory. Tears formed in her eyes. He had never forgotten. She looked around and saw an old librarian sitting at the desk. Mia walked up and asked softly, "Excuse me, do you know someone named Ethan Carter?" The woman looked up. She smiled. "Oh, yes, I do. He still visits here sometimes. Quiet boy. Loves to draw. Has not changed much. Do you know where he lives now?" The librarian thought for a moment. "I believe he moved into his grandfather's house after his parents passed away. It's just down Maple Street. The white house with blue windows." Mia thanked her and walked quickly toward Maple Street. The road felt familiar. Each house brought back memories. Then she saw it. The white house with blue windows. Old, but still beautiful. She walked up the small steps. Her hand was shaking as she reached for the doorbell. She pressed it. No answer. She pressed again. Still nothing. Her heart was pounding. Then she heard a soft bark. A dog. The door opened just a little. And there he was. Ethan. Older. Taller. But the same kind eyes. He looked at her. For a moment. Neither of them said anything. Then Ethan whispered, "Mia?" She nodded slowly. "Yes, it is me." He opened the door wider. They stood there, looking at each other, lost in time. "I found the letters," she said softly. His eyes widened. "You did?" "Yes, all of them, under the oak tree. I did not know if you would ever come back." He said, "I tried," she said, "but my parents, they never let me." He nodded. "I thought maybe you forgot me." "Never," she said, "not even for one day." They sat down together in the small living room. Mia told him everything. The move, the questions, the pain. And Ethan shared his side. The waiting, the writing, the hope. Years had passed. But in that small room, time felt like it had stopped. They were still the same. Two hearts, just older, just stronger. But one question still remained. Why did Mia's parents never give her the letters? What were they hiding? And what was the real reason they left town so suddenly? There was still one final piece missing, and it was time to find it. Mia stayed in that small living room for a long time. The sun outside had begun to set. A golden light poured in through the windows. It made everything feel soft like a dream. But her heart was still full of questions, and one of them would not go away. Why did her parents keep Ethan away from her? What were they hiding? Ethan sat across from her, holding the last letter he had written. "I never understood," he said. "I thought maybe I was not good enough for you." Mia shook her head quickly. "No, Ethan, you were my whole world back then." "Then why did your family vanish like that?" Mia looked down. "I think it is time we find out." The next morning, Mia went back to her childhood home. The house was quiet. Her mother was sitting on the porch, reading. When she saw Mia, she smiled gently. "You went out early today," her mother said. Mia sat beside her and looked at the trees in the yard. Then she asked quietly, "Why did we leave town all those years ago?" Her mother froze. The smile disappeared. There was silence. Then her mother sighed. It was not supposed to happen like that. Mia turned to her. "What do you mean?" Her mother looked at her with tired eyes. "Your father got a job offer in another state. But that was not the only reason. He thought Ethan's family was not suitable." "What?" "Yes. He said they were too simple, too poor. He believed you deserved more, a better future. So he made sure the letters never reached you." Mia stood up. Tears filled her eyes. "That was not his choice to make. He took away my happiness." Her mother looked down. "I know, and I am sorry. I kept the letters. I could not throw them away. I thought maybe one day you would find them." That night, Mia sat in her old room. So many memories returned. The laughter, the promises, the dreams. She knew what she had to do. The next day, she went to Ethan's house. He was sitting in the garden, drawing again. Mia smiled. "You never stopped drawing, did you?" Ethan smiled back. "Never. It is the only way I could still see you. She sat beside him. And then she said, I know the truth now. He nodded. I always hoped one day you would come back and stay. Mia took his hand. I am here now, and I am not leaving again. Time passed, slowly, beautifully. Together, they rebuilt their bond. They laughed. They healed. They remembered who they were before life pulled them apart. And one sunny afternoon, under the same old oak tree, Ethan opened a small box. Inside was a simple ring. He looked into Mia's eyes and asked, Will you spend the rest of your life with me? Mia's eyes filled with tears. She nodded. Yes, I will. Some love stories do not need grand moments. They just need two hearts that never forget. And in this quiet town, with the letters, the oak tree, and years lost in time, Mia and Ethan finally found their way back. Because true love never really fades. It waits. And when the time is right, it shines again.